la comunidad cristiana Idelán Monte de Santidad le invita a sus reuniones de crecimiento espiritual. Cada domingo a las 10:30 de la mañana en 49 Sandringham de Brampton, Ontario. También puedes acompañarnos los viernes a las 6:30 de la tarde para estudiar juntos la Palabra de Dios. Y si te encuentras en Toronto, estamos en el 88 Park Lawn en Etobicoke. Todos los miércoles a las 7 de la noche, juntos creceremos espiritualmente estudiando esa hermosa Palabra de Dios. Ven y compartamos juntos este tiempo de edificación espiritual. Te esperamos.
Mi nombre es Mariana Santos y soy consultora de migración y refugio aquí en Canadá. Mi compañía se llama Santos y Associates Immigration Inc. En Santos y Asociados hacemos toda clase de documentación sobre inmigración. Llevamos a cabo refugios, razones humanitarias, visas de estudio, de trabajo, de turismo. El lema de nuestra oficina es: donde hay esperanza, hay solución, en su caso de inmigración. Somos varias personas trabajando muy activamente dentro y fuera de la oficina. Nuestro caso es el suyo. Nuestro bienestar está cuando usted gana su caso. Entonces, acérquese, consúltenos a nuestra oficina. Estamos siempre dispuestos para usted. Los espero aquí en Santos y Asociados, en la esquina de Kill y Wilson, con una sonrisa para usted y para su familia. Muchas gracias.
Desde Colombia llega a Canadá Obleas and Waffles to Go, la mejor forma de endulzar tu paladar. Queremos que seas parte del lanzamiento de nuestra marca. Te esperamos en el festival de salsa más grande de Canadá, Salsa on St. Clair, los próximos 6 y 7 de julio, y el 2, 3 y 4 de agosto en el Mississauga Latin Festival. Queremos que conozcas con más cercanía los sabores de Colombia, junto a tu familia y amigos.
El poder está en ti. Comparte una noche positiva y llena de emoción con Filiourskaia y Anastassia. Empodérate y sé tu mejor versión. Todos los lunes a las 8 de la noche tienes una cita con nosotros en 2 en TV, la nueva radio digital online. Los lunes son una nueva oportunidad al éxito y la felicidad. Somos 2 en línea, tu canal digital.
And we are live right now. Hello everyone and welcome to our English segment of Empowerment with Anastassia. And how are you doing today? Guys, if you're joining us live or on replay, please comment below where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, write them down. It really doesn't matter if you're doing it live or on a recording. We will try our best to answer all of your questions. So today, I'm so excited. We have a very special guest over here in the studio. We have Toronto's leading real estate lawyer with us, Natalia Krukova.
Hi.
And I'm so excited that you're here because you're always so busy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know
Thank
what?
you for inviting me. This is absolutely wonderful.
I'm so excited. And I don't, did you go on vacation? You look absolutely, your skin looks amazing.
I have a secret.
Ooh, okay, tune in everyone. There's a secret. There's a secret.
The little secret is standing on the desk right here, which I may put in my bag later on. Again.
Ooh. It's this.
It's excellent. The Luminous. It's
The Luminous.
absolutely wonderful. So after a long day of work, I put it on my face. I wash my face, I put it on my face, and I continue doing more work with this on. But this is wonderful.
Okay, guys, there's a secret, and apparently some people, I know all of you requested for us to do demonstration of every single product, and I promise we will do it. I received all of your messages. Thank you very much for participation. Thank you for sending whatever you want to see, because actually we're trying to bring people, we're trying to do whatever you want, because we want to bring you value. So that's why I promise we're going to do demonstration of everything. However, today, right now, yeah.
Do it all.
Okay, so your favorite is Hydro Shield.
Yes.
Actually, mine as well. I love I use all the products, but HydroShield is my number one saving for the long flight. If I'm on the flight, the skin becomes like all grouchy, like, ooh, you look like from Walking Dead. This is the best thing to put it on, and then you leave the beautiful skin from a long flight. Or if like someone working on the inside, 23 and a half hours,
24 sometimes.
24 hours working inside, and we have very long winters here, so this is an amazing product. We just take it off the mask, you put it in your purse, and boom, it's absolutely wonderful. And I'll be very surprised to see you walking in your office, because you're super busy person. Guys, story about how I met Natalia. Several years ago, I had a client, and a real estate client who were purchasing a property, and in the last very minute, obviously it will be Friday afternoon, their lawyer decided to drop them and decided not to represent them in the deal. So if I will, all those emotions, I put them very short. Natalia came.
It was a Sunday.
Oh, it was even Sunday.
It was a Sunday.
Oh,
Saturday.
Saturday.
It was a day of the weekend.
So
yeah.
the lawyer completely dropped it. We were calling people in the afternoon. Nobody was working, and Natalia saved the day. She saved actually that deal, and Natalia has not only the experience in Ontario, but also in Alberta and New Jersey. And for those of you who haven't yet professionally met and dealt with you, maybe you can share about yourself a bit?
So briefly about my personal career first. I am a lawyer, in fact, in Ontario and in Alberta and in New Jersey. In Ontario mostly. Probably about 99.9% of my business comes from Ontario. I have a general practice office in the GTA. So we're located in Toronto, right next to the 401 actually. So very conveniently located. And I have a general practice office. So I do everything. But my main part of my business is concentrated in real estate. So I would say probably about 95% of my business is real estate, residential, purchases and sales. I do commercial dealings as well, and we do refinancing. So if you're getting a mortgage or refinancing on your property, we deal with that as well. So come on in.
And what about the languages? How many languages your office speaks?
So English, French, Russian, obviously. I have many Russian clientele. It's very convenient. We do speak a little bit of Hebrew as well. And if you speak some language that we don't know how to speak, we will learn it. Come on in.
That's called the service. If we don't speak your language, we will learn it, or we'll find the people who speak your language. That's amazing. I love this. This is the attitude. That's why when I deal with somebody in the transaction, I maybe became a bit spoiled, because I want to have quality for my clients. I like my standards, and I'm not willing to lower them for anyone, especially when my clients are represented in the deal. So it's very important to see somebody so accommodating, and thank you very much for sharing this. And I also know that you're coming from a doctor's family. So I have a question, because a lot of people can relate to it. You come from a doctor's office, not office, from a doctor's family.
Almost.
And we have, hello Alicia, hello Amanda, how are you? Hi Anna. I'm sometimes gonna check my phone to see your comments over here. So might be a bit delayed, but we'll try to work with you. So you are coming from doctor's family, and you were under pressure to become a doctor. So how did you end up being a lawyer?
Well, so my father's family, everybody is in the medical profession, or was in the medical profession back in our country. Some of them actually continued when we moved to Canada. But I always knew that I wanted to do something that will require a lot of speaking from me, will require a lot of reading for me. I absolutely adore research. It sounds boring to certain people, but to me it's absolutely wonderful. Writing as well, and I just wanted to work with people. So for me, I always knew I wasn't going to go into medicine. And my love of the law, if we want to say that, started at a very young age, where I was reading about lawyers, reading about the law, and reading about new things that came out. And so that's how I kind of grew into the legal profession. My bachelor's degree had nothing to do with the law. I decided that was my 4 years to really kind of do something different. Experiment,
oh.
Yes. So I'm an anthropologist, archaeologist by BA, not by trade, by
I
BA.
had no idea.
Yeah. But I always, again, that was because you need your bachelor's to go into law school. So I did my bachelor's, I enjoyed my 4 years, and then I went into law school and enjoyed my 3 years right after that, even more so than I enjoyed my first 4 years. So for me, it was, again, my love of finding a love in something that I really, really enjoy doing, that I can see myself doing until I retire, and not hating every single day of waking up and going to work. Actually really, really enjoying it. But on my way here, I actually was thinking about my life, and when I really started enjoying law, when I really started enjoying my work, was when I started my own business. So when I opened up my own office, prior to that, it was, following, the mold, or following somebody else's choices, and somebody, like, you don't have a lot of say when you're working underneath somebody.
They have their rules and you follow them.
You follow, you write, you research, you do whatever, and there's a lot of wonderful, wonderful aspects in that as well. But for me, it was, again, being forced into my own sort of, you're starting to run on your own. You're not crawling anymore. Nobody's holding you. You fall, you fall. You stand up and you run. You did it all by yourself. So that's how I started my own practice. It was just me. It was very scary, but it was absolutely amazing. And through that, I met such wonderful people.
Oh, thank you. Is it on the recording? Nice people? Just, yeah, very shy. I'm very
No,
shy.
but it's true. It's true. And those are the things, and those are the people that I would not have met if I wasn't working on my own and wasn't, working on my own. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So you went outside your comfort zone. Here are several aspects I want to actually touch based on your story. Number one, you had your dream. You decided that that's what I want. I want to do it, and you pursue it, because a lot of people they've fallen under the pressure. I have met actually the guy, he does the Zumba class, and he said, well, my degree is a nurse. I said, why did you choose to be a nurse? Because my mother said so. I had another guy who's a musician who said, I did my BA in something, and just to show to my parents. So they're so forced to do something that they didn't enjoy, they didn't want it. They're forced to work just for a job. And here we're talking about empowerment. We're talking about people that want to achieve something in their life. They want to enjoy going to work. They go with a smile to work. They really think outside of the comfort zone. And yes, it's super scary. It's extremely scary to be on that place, because you don't know what to expect. And yet, if you pursue what you love, and then you decide to do it, and you decide to step outside of your comfort zone, you can achieve big heights. And here in front of you, I can physically touch her, but in front of you, you have a proof of success. I absolutely love to take interviews from successful people, just because we learn so much. And one of the habits that I learned, and that's why I like to share the story, when you share your story with us, I hear it. They always say, oh, I had a dream and I pursue it. It's not I was sitting down on the couch and waiting for something to happen to me and nothing happened. Oh my God, what was wrong? So when we have this approach, success happens. And guys, listen carefully, because maybe this interview will help you, will bring you value to get you outside of the comfort zone, because we all have those downtimes. And actually, there's a question for you in regards to that. We have downtimes when you don't feel like doing anything. How do you push yourself? How do you push yourself to go ahead and do something? How do you push yourself to say, you know what, I'm on my path and I continue, instead of just giving up? Because law school, after you finish your BA, honors BA, sometimes you don't feel like doing something. And sometimes at work you're like, oh, why did I open the practice? Because there's so much pressure. So how do you deal with your pressure? How do you deal with your downtimes?
That's a wonderful question. Just because I think anybody, unless you live in this perfect magical world, which none of us do, unfortunately, we have days where we wake up in the morning and it's hard. You just don't want to do anything. You just want to lay there and just not talk to anybody and just be completely in your own little bubble. There are times where you're doing something, but something doesn't work. When I started my own practice, it was extremely difficult. It was very, very, very difficult for months and months on end. Like, I had to overcome, and it was not the knowledge of the law, and it was not going up in front of, the judge. It was just difficult to force myself to get up, go into an office, and to pursue something without people recognizing it. And then your first client comes, the second client comes, and so on and so forth, and you build and you build and you build, and then you keep on running, pretty much. But my thing, what I've always believed in, if you have this downtime, if you have doubts in yourself, do something you love. Do something you love. So pick up a wonderful book. There's so many absolutely amazingly empowering books out there.
Do you have
I was
some
reading
favorites?
one, there's one called The Placebo. So it's talking about your thought process and being able to control your thought process into making things work for you. So you can tell somebody, and they describe it in the book, you can tell somebody that they have cancer, let's say. Even if that person does not have cancer, but believes that they have cancer and they're very sick, they will sit there and they will kind of rot in this negative disease sort of environment.
They will attract the disease to themselves.
And there's certain people, I have to tell this story. It's absolutely amazing. But my father told me this story. This comes from another doctor friend of his. He had a patient, came into his office. The patient had to have surgery, opened them up. The doctor opened the patient up and saw that the cancer was all over his body. There was nothing that they could do. Sewed him back up. Now, this was in Russia. Here, I don't know if it would happen in Canada, but in Russia, the patient came in front of the doctor, and the doctor told him, "You're completely fine. I'll see you in a year." Knowing to himself that he would never see this man ever again, because, he's got, a couple of months left. In a year, the man shows up again. The doctor is very confused. He said, okay, I checked everything. Come back in a year. Comes back in a year. He came back 2, 3, 4 times. Finally, the doctor just couldn't hold it anymore. And he says, you know what? I have to, let me tell you what happened. So he tells him the whole story. He said, when I opened you up the first time, it was horrible. There was nothing you could do. I just didn't think you would come back 4 years in a row. Let me open you up and see. So he opened it up again, and the man was completely clean. His whole body was completely clean. So it's all up here. It's the power of thought, right? So empowerment is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful idea. We can all wake up in the morning and empower ourselves, whether we're doing something small, preparing a meal for our loved ones, going to the store, going to work, going this, doing that. You can do anything, but it's just waking up, smiling to yourself in the mirror, saying, oh my God, what a wonderful day. It's raining, it's snowing, it's sunny, I look absolutely wonderful today. Let me put on my shoes and go out and enjoy my life. That's the only way to live. That's the only way to keep yourself and those around you happy.
Wow, that's
yeah,
empowering.
it's wonderful, yeah.
Guys, it's all about the mindset. There are many books. I'm reading several right now.
What are you reading?
I'm reading the, it's actually in Russian translation.
Okay.
It's a Power of Your Subconscious, one book. And another one, I just started some history about one of the sons of the kings. And it's interesting why I started that book is because of the we think that in the past there were different problems, and right now with new generation, new problems, people still have that mindset. I was reading about the first son of Peter the First, Alexei, and he was, the way they could have fixed that problem between the son and the father, the mindset, what's going behind, what people take personally, the misunderstanding, the miscommunication brings you for so much despair. You have a mindset, you have the ability to do anything you want. You decide if the obstacle on your course is a problem of your life or it's a learning curve. It's up to you to decide. You want to learn from your mistake, you have to learn from this, for this experience, because I personally believe that everything happens for a reason. And when we have something happening, we can learn from this. Or we have another choice, we can give up. We can give up, or we can be maybe vegetable at the age of 50 because we think, oh, 50 is too old. Well, others at 75 or 80 or 85-year-old, they think, I'm young, I'm good, I'm gonna travel the world, I'm gonna enjoy my life. It's all in your here. Like when people asking you your age, you count what? Just it's a number. It's how you feel inside. So when you have this downtime, I really love how you put it, that you didn't feel like doing it, but then you change your mindset. If you want something to change, you have to start from yourself, because whatever you did before, if it didn't work for you before, if you continue doing the same, it's not going to work again. So the best advice would be for you to just start changing one step at a time. You cannot change drastically immediately, but one step at a time, and read the right books, hang out with the right people. If you don't have a right crowd, you have audiobooks, you have YouTube tutorial. You can be surrounded by Warren Buffett, by Bill Gates, by Tony Robbins, by Eric Worre. It's up to you. You decide who you want to be around. It doesn't matter where you are. We have technology right now to help us. We have books to help us. So that's amazing what you can do with all your downtimes, how you can transform them and actually make them your up times. Thank you so much. And you know what? I know that not only you are busy, 24 and a half, 25 hours you work?
26 sometimes, yeah.
26. Natalia is not only an extremely busy person, well, obviously it comes with the territory. When you're a leading real estate professional in the industry, when you're a leading real estate lawyer within GTA, of course it comes with the territory that you're so busy, but also you are a single mom of a brand new mom. You're a brand new mom that just starting the whole, I don't know how you even balance all that. Being the little son of Natalia is not even a 1 year old. He was not
8.5 months.
He's 8.5 months. He is so adorable. So you are extremely busy professional. And on top of that, you're always on top of everything. You're always on top of, whenever I send an email in regards to one of the deals, you're always on top. You know what's going on. You have a control of the situation. Plus, you're a very doting mother. How do you combine it?
It's hard. It's actually very hard, but I love both my profession and my son, or my family. My parents are absolutely wonderful, and they help me up so much. So I, as much as I want to sit here and complain, I can't. It's absolutely wonderful. But it's time management, which is a huge aspect. So yes, you have your career, you have your family as well. I have my son. Some people have multiple kids, such as yourself. Well, not multiple.
I have two.
Multiple.
It's more
than one. No, but it's time management. It's a matter of finding time for everything. So we have our work right now with technology these days. We're not stuck to the office. I can leave the office. I have my phone, which has my email, which has my legal programs, which is absolutely amazing because I'm a dinosaur when it comes to technology, unfortunately. But it's absolutely wonderful. We're so available for our work. It's incredible. We can do it anywhere. We can do it on the beach sometimes. We can do it in the bathtub if we need to. And then you have your home life, which is absolutely wonderful. You know, to me, that's my downtime. It's my time to relax when I see my son every single night, every single morning as well, which is absolutely amazing. But you need to find time for yourself. And, you know, again, this is coming from a person who loves her career and loves her family, loves her career. You know, they're both on the same sort of step for me. But you need to find time for yourself, which is very, very important, which, you know, I want to refer to the mask again.
Oh, this is also the downtime.
The downtime with bathtub and masks. But it's extremely, extremely important for you to find, you know, because you can get caught up, and again, loving the career, loving the family, but you can get caught up in this mishmash of stuff where you forget about yourself completely. But yourself, you, like you said, you're number one. You know, everybody's number 1.5, number, you know, very, very, very close.
Next.
Yeah. But at the same time, if you don't take care of yourself, everybody else will suffer that is close to you. So you need to take care of yourself, and you need to find your own sort of wonderful things that you absolutely love and enjoy.
Just for yourself.
Just for yourself.
Yeah, especially sometimes when you have so much on your plate, you have this overwhelming, and when you're stressed, when you don't know how to manage your time, and you put everything together for the last minute, and it's like already the snowball effect, and you really don't want that to happen to you because it's just too much, and that's when the depression starts. So have this amazing time management. When I heard that word, it's my favorite time. Multitasking, time management. Those two things, I talked last time about multitasking, and it will save so much of your time. So if you can combine two and learn sometimes even to have time for yourself, just alone, take a bath, take 10 minutes bath, not 1 hour, but 10 minutes for yourself, quality over quantity, you will be able to enjoy it. Wow, we have so much more to discuss, guys. We're gonna just quickly stop for our 2-minute break for our commercials, and we'll be right back.
La comunidad cristiana Idelán Monte de Santidad le invita a sus reuniones de crecimiento espiritual. Cada domingo a las 10:30 de la mañana en 49 Sandringham de Brampton, Ontario. También puedes acompañarnos los viernes a las 6:30 de la tarde para estudiar juntos la Palabra de Dios. Y si te encuentras en Toronto, estamos en el 88 Park Lawn en Etobicoke. Todos los miércoles a las 7 de la noche, juntos creceremos espiritualmente estudiando esa hermosa Palabra de Dios. Ven y compartamos juntos este tiempo de edificación espiritual. Te esperamos.
Mi nombre es Mariana Santos y soy consultora de migración y refugio aquí en Canadá. Mi compañía se llama Santos y Associates Immigration Inc. En Santos y Asociados hacemos toda clase de documentación sobre inmigración. Llevamos a cabo refugios, razones humanitarias, visas de estudio, de trabajo, de turismo. El lema de nuestra oficina es: donde hay esperanza, hay solución en su caso de inmigración. Somos varias personas trabajando muy activamente dentro y fuera de la oficina. Nuestro caso es el suyo. Nuestro bienestar está cuando usted gana su caso. Entonces, acérquese, consúltenos a nuestra oficina. Estamos siempre dispuestos para usted. Los espero aquí en Santos y Asociados, en la esquina de Kill y Wilson, con una sonrisa para usted y para su familia. Muchas gracias.
Desde Colombia llega a Canadá Obleas and Waffles to Go, la mejor forma de endulzar tu paladar. Queremos que seas parte del lanzamiento de nuestra marca. Te esperamos en el festival de salsa más grande de Canadá, Salsa on St. Clair, los próximos 6 y 7 de julio, y el 2, 3 y 4 de agosto en el Mississauga Latin Festival. Queremos que conozcas con más cercanía los sabores de Colombia, junto a tu familia y amigos.
Talking with Natalia, with our leading real estate lawyer within GTA, about the aspects of motherhood and balance between the professional and personal life. We talked about the background. We talked about how to handle your mindset, because how to handle your downtimes doesn't sound that good anymore. So I would like to ask you another question. What would be your advice to somebody who is a single mom or single dad, or somebody who has too much on their plate and they really want to excel, really want to do something better in their life? They want to change a career, they want to grow within their organization, or they just want to open their own. It doesn't matter whether it's a bakery, it's I don't know, another legal office, law office, or they want to start the entrepreneurship, become a network marketer. What would be your suggestion for them, for those single parents or have too much on the plate? Because you are an expert of having too much on your plate.
So firstly, don't be afraid. That's number one. Don't be afraid to start something. If you want something, start it. If you want to pursue something, you want to go somewhere, you want to see something, do it. Plan for it, that's fine. Don't just go out and do it, but just, you have to do it. You have to grab the opportunity and go, because that's something that, you know, once you're very, 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 very old, you can look back and say, you know what, I did it. I'm proud of myself, I did it. Again, time management. We have to go back to time management. So, you know, you plan to do it, you're not afraid, there's no fear of actually failing, because you don't know until you try, and that's, you know, a wonderful saying. And just time management, it's just a matter, start small. If you don't have, you know, if you're not a free person with, you know, unlimited funds that you could just do whatever you feel like doing, start small. You know, every single day, take a course online if you want to pursue more education. You don't need to go for a full-time. You can do something part-time. There are many, many programs that offer that. Start small. If you want to start something big right away, learn about it. You know, see if you actually want to do something. See if you actually will enjoy it. Take a course. There's so many courses out there right now. Read a book about it. And if you actually feel like doing something after you've done all this research, after you feel like this is the right thing for you to do, go out and do it. That's the only way to do it. So again, time management, time management, time management. It's a matter of just, you know, part-time, full-time. You know, my parents, when they started their careers, they had a little child, my brother, on their hands, and they didn't have babysitters. You know, my father would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and run to the bus stop, which was, you know, God knows how many kilometers away. But, you know, it's a matter of just, if you feel like this is the right way of going about things, this is what you really, really want to do, you will find the time for doing it. So it's this want. So want to do something. If you have a dream, pursue it, because you won't regret it later on. Because once you achieve something, something that you've always, always wanted to achieve, if you finally make it, it's the most wonderful feeling, and just so great for you, for your loved ones around you. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Wow. Guys, you heard it. If you want something, first of all, conquer your fear. The first step as Natalia just said, is might be the scariest, but you do that step. It's one step at a time. You cannot run if you didn't learn how to walk first.
Exactly.
That's absolutely right. And so in time management, yes, you have a lot on your plate, but maybe it's a good idea for you to prioritize and delegate some things, so then you'll have some time for yourself. And again, I absolutely love what Natalia just said. You will regret not doing it if you really have the feeling, if you really want to do something. So go ahead, pursue it, do it, and you will be happy in a happier place, because if you haven't, you will always wonder, what if? What if that happened? And imagine and remember the times. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that if you had an opportunity, yes, it's too much on your plate. Yes, sometimes it looks like there's no solution. There's no way out, but in the end there is. And you would know it several years ago. Several years after, you know, oh my God, we could have done that. That there is always a solution. As Natalia said, pursue it. You can do it. Find the way. Just find the way, and one step at a time, baby steps. And
I have a quick add-on
Sure.
to that. This, for some reason, reminded me of something. When I went to law school, so there were, the young kids, the students, and then we had a couple of students. There were two in particular. One was in his 50s and one was in his 60s. One was a doctor before, so he had a full career and he went to law school. And one was doing something else before, I think it was something in computers, and went to law school. And when you talk to them, because, it would seem that, not that their careers were over, but, they've reached kind of a stage in their life,
The
especially
peak of their career,
a peak of some sort. Why start all over? And you talk to them and they said, you know what? We've always wanted to go to law school. We want to be lawyers. That's what we wanted to do. And so I was a doctor. I'm going to pursue something, legal, but in relations to medicine. So he became, I think, a lawyer, which is absolutely incredible. And the other one was in computers. I don't remember what he did. I think he did intellectual property, but that's what they wanted to do for for their whole lives. And they said, it's never too late. Let us go to law school. And that's what they did. And they weren't afraid. They weren't afraid what others would say about them, because we should never care about that. We should only care about what we say about ourselves. And that's it. They did it, and they're happier people.
So there's no such a thing as I'm too old or I'm too
Never.
young. It's all here. Back to your mindset. You can achieve it. Natalia gave you just an amazing example of how it can be done in any age. Whatever you put in your factory here in your brains, like David Schwartz and the magical thinking bag, it's your factory. You can feed it negativity or positivity. It's up to you. So you want to make sure that if you decide to do it, doesn't matter. You might be 101. There's an amazing woman who is she's a yoga instructor at 101.
I saw it.
So
Yeah,
you saw
it's
it.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
you can be anything you want in any age. It all depends on you. That's fascinating. Well, you know what? I also have some questions for you, because since you're here, we want to take advantage and we want to bring guys for you as much value as possible. Since we have Natalia here, I want to ask you how to choose the right lawyer, because sometimes we don't, either people haven't dealt in a long time, they've been in the same house for the last 30 years and they don't remember how to choose the correct real estate lawyer. Other people just knew, they never purchased anything. Or there are third kind of people that they had an unpleasant experience before. So what are the characteristics you have to look after in order to find the correct real estate lawyer?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. I think firstly, if you have a wonderful real estate agent that can direct you to a wonderful real estate lawyer, it's an it's an amazing opportunity that you're very, very lucky to have. But if you don't have that opportunity, find somebody that you're comfortable with, because you happen to spend a lot of time with your lawyer. Whether you're a real estate lawyer, you're an immigration lawyer, the wonderful woman that we had beforehand, any other lawyer, you happen to spend a lot of time with that person. So you have to be comfortable with that person, and that person needs to understand you, and you need to understand him, her, whoever it is. So it's a matter of comfort. It's a matter of it would be wonderful to be in the same sort of geographical location, just so you can pop in if you need to sign something, pop out when you can, when you don't. Yeah, I mean, look at the previous, maybe, look at the website, if that person has a website. Look at what other people have said about him. If somebody can recommend you to that person, that would be wonderful as well. But it's just a matter of having that comfort level, because again, you spend so much time with your lawyer, with your real estate lawyer. For some people, it's, their first purchase. It's a huge purchase. You're not going in to buy milk. It's a house, right? Or a condo, or it's a huge purchase.
It's a big investment.
It's a huge investment, yeah. So you need to be able to trust whoever's working on that transaction, right? So it's just a matter of, again, comfort level, language level, yeah.
And also, I believe that when you find somebody who saves the day, you keep them for good. That's my personal opinion, because I want to never lower your standards. And when you find somebody that meets your standards, just go ahead and do that. Because if somebody will say, oh, you know what, I work Monday between 9 a.m. and 10:30, and then maybe Thursday between 4 and 5, perhaps that's not the best deal. Or somebody who you will email once, you will email twice, and you email third time, and they never reply. They're never on top of things. You have to call them and go through the secretary a million times in order to get to them, in order to ask something relating to this deal. And for you as a consumer and the end consumer, because you're buying this, it's personal, because you're buying something big, regardless if it's rental property or it's a residential house. It's still very close to your heart. So you want somebody that would be able to pay attention. I want some attention to me. That basically people want to have other to pay attention to them. They want to make sure that you answer and you're on top of things. You don't forget, oh, you have a closing, oops, it was yesterday. So something like this would never happen. So make sure you can call and ask. If you cannot reach your lawyer for a very long time, regardless how busy they are. We have people here, not to point any fingers, that are extremely busy, yet they're always on time. So that's what I'm looking for others, regardless of the property, regardless of the things that you're looking for, regardless of what kind of lawyer you're looking for. You want somebody who will pay attention to you and act on your best interest. And since we're talking about the first-time buyers, can I ask you a question? There are some good programs going on for first-time buyers, and if you can just discuss some of them. I know we're almost out of time, but shortly, if you can tell us about a bit the programs that we have here in Ontario, that will be so fantastic.
So very, very quickly, this is a new program. It's called the First Home Buyer Incentive Program. It launches on September 2nd, 2019. You have to be a first-time home buyer, and you have to make no more than $120,000 a year
As a salary.
As a salary, yeah, to be eligible for this program. And you have to have a minimum for the down payment. So it's 5%. I mean, down payments are a lot higher now, but you have to have 5% as per the program. 5% for homes or condos, or 10% for new construction. Okay.
So there's a program for people that are in the for the middle class, to support them, because right now the family income can be 120,000, but then they cannot be eligible, or they cannot really find their 20% down. So this program will really help those who don't have a sufficient amount, big lump sum of money laying down there to put down.
So it's a help for mortgages, right? So you have your down payment. Let's say you have your down payment, but you don't want to take that X amount of dollars for a mortgage, because it's very difficult to afford the monthly mortgage payments. So this will aid you and help you with the actual mortgage payments. They reduce your mortgage amount that you must take out from any bank. by giving you this amount of money. And what's wonderful about this, so it's absolutely amazing, but yeah, there's plenty of things. You only have to pay it back within 25 years or after 25 years or as soon as your property is sold. That's when you have to pay it back. So you don't have to pay it back within 5 years or 4 years, however long your mortgage is going on for. You have 25 years to pay it back, and it's absolutely incredible. So you receive 5% in incentive, and you pay back 5% of the current value.
Wow. It's not accumulating interest on interest on interest and interest. In the end, you have to pay so much more. This is actually to help people. I love this.
It's absolutely incredible. So it's 5% or 10%, but it's only for first time home buyers. First time home buyers. But it's wonderful. It's absolutely amazing, and this is what they're doing to help us out, help the
young families to start, or somebody who was waiting for it. I personally had several clients that had to go 1 more year in rental apartments because they didn't have sufficient amount of money as a down payment, and this program will really help them out to have their own place, and that's what we're aiming for. We are aiming for helping others, and here we're empowering, but with the new program I cannot resist asking the specials and tips and tricks of somebody is here already, because she is here. I take full advantage, guys, for you to bring value. Is there anything else that we know about first-time buyers?
Well, there's not first-time home buyers, but I'd like to kind of do a little bit of warning for the non-speculation tax, non-resident speculation tax.
Oh yes, for those of you who are not, you just arrived to the country, you do want to buy some property, but if you don't have a PR, you have to pay like 15% more on the property.
So it's 15% of the actual purchase price, which is an immense amount. However, if you become a permanent resident within the first 4 years after purchase, you get it back. So when your lawyer, after purchase transaction closes, lawyer sends you the report and all your documentation. Make sure you keep it, because you will need to submit it to the government once you want your refund back. So your 15%, so there's the land transfer tax, which everybody needs to pay. If you're a first-time home buyer, we have incentives for that as well. But there's the non-resident speculation tax, which is a 15% on purchase price, but gets returned to you if you become a permanent resident within the first 4 years.
Oh wow, so you can get it back, which is very convenient. So it's like a piggy bank.
Yeah,
I would consider it as a piggy bank. You're not yet, haven't received the PR, but you're gonna receive it if you are applying and you are anticipating to buying something right now, but become a citizen later. Don't worry, this 15% will not gonna affect you down the road. Once you receive your citizenship, it will be returned to you, which is fascinating.
It is fascinating, but keep on top of it.
Keep all of the paperwork and be on top of it, and contact your lawyer the minute you receive your citizenship, so that we can pay, get the money back. And hello, David, and we have Anna who will translate the message from David, because hello, good morning is the other. Nothing else I can read because it's all in Spanish, but Anna will translate for us and we'll try to answer. There's somebody, guys, you think we're 2 of us here? No, there are not 2 of us here. There are more people at the back. And
helping.
And since they're making fun of us, we're gonna make fun of them.
No, the thing was, David, he was asking something about the program before you, Anastassia. He wants to know something about immigration with Mariana.
Okay.
So that's why it's in Spanish.
Okay. So David, Mariana is a previous. I think you can reach her through Facebook, and also if you private message her, or we have here advertisement, and you will have her phone number there as well. It's going there. So if you're gonna contact Mariana for the immigration part, she'll be able to help you out for sure. Just check after this program is finished, you're gonna see 2 or 3 minutes of advertisement, and there will be phone number. Just write it down, and you can call Mariana, and she'll be able to help you, hopefully. So all the questions are finished. Again, guys, if you write a question after the program is finished and you're watching this on replay, please ask any questions you have, because we will be monitoring your questions and try to answer anything or every question or anything you have to comment. Do you have anything else? The last thing to add?
No, huge thank you. Absolutely wonderful audience, absolutely wonderful human being that you are, for inviting me. I want to thank you, and hopefully we can do this again.
Oh, I hope so. If you have questions, we can have more and more and grill with the tips and tricks and find out. Guys, I hope this segment was of value to you, and until next time,